Marine pollution is a combination of chemicals and trash that comes from land sources and is washed or blown into the ocean. This pollution results in damage to the environment, to the health of all organisms, and to economic structure worldwide. The types of ocean pollution that humans generate are vast, including plastic debris, chemical runoff, crude oil, and more. Ocean pollution affects more than 817 animal species around the world, a figure that has increased by 23% in the last 5 years alone. Nowadays, we all know that it can take hundreds of years for plastic to degrade, and research is showing that it is possible that it does not even fully degrade, but becomes what we call microplastic. Microplastics are tiny particles of plastic that can be eaten by marine animals and end up in their bodies and tissues, entering the food chain and leading to disastrous consequences for the health of our planet and all its inhabitants. Based on the document of BBC, this is showing data on the estimated global mass of floating plastic in the ocean from 2005 to 2019. It shows that mass of floating plastic measured in million metric tons on the y-axis. On the x-axis, it shows the years from 2005 to 2019. There is a sharp increase in the amount of floating plastic shown. In summary, the graph presents data showing that it more than quintupled from 0.5 to 2.5 million metric tons over this time frame, highlighting concern about excessive plastic waste entering marine environments. As we can see in this diagram, the top 10 most widespread waste item polluting the world ocean is plastic waste, which makes up the majority of the top offenders, with plastic bags being the biggest cause at 14.1%. Plastic bottles and food containers also contribute significant amount of plastic pollution to the ocean. The data shows that single-use and disposable plastic items are the most prevalent types of waste found in the ocean globally. According to UNESCO, 80% of all marine pollution is attributed to plastic. As per UNESCO's finding, plastic is the reason behind 80% of all marine plastic pollution. We have produced more plastic in the last 10 years than in the previous century. This is not progress. It is hindering and killing oceanic life. Most of the plastic we find in the ocean comes from the land. It flows downstream through rivers all the way to the sea. At first, it may stay in coastal waters, but it can soon be picked up by rotating ocean currents, called grays, and transported literally anywhere in the world. According to National Geographic, scientists found plastic coming from Russia, the United States, Europe, South America, Japan, and China on Henderson Island, an uninhabited, isolated atoll halfway between Chile and New Zealand. Usually, marine plastic debris groups up in what we call garbage patches, plastic accumulation areas in the center of the ocean grays. The biggest is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, located between Hawaii and California. Today, plastic production and use is still at its highest, but the data on recycling are not all promising. Only about 10% of the plastic we produce is currently being recycled. The rest is either incinerated, causing air pollution, or it ends up in our ocean and environment. Plastic pollution in the ocean has a devastating impact on marine life and ecosystem. The most obvious one being the damaged plastic item caused to animals when they come into contact with or ingest them, which include suffocation, entanglement, laceration, infection, and internal injuries. 17% of the species affected by the presence of plastic in the ocean are on the International Union for Conservation of Nature list of threatened species. Yet there are more problems related to plastic. Floating plastic items can help transport invasive species, which leads to threats for marine ecosystem, biodiversity, and the food web. As I explained before, microplastics have now become part of the food chain and have been found everywhere. In drinking water, salt, beer, and in the soil where we grow our vegetables. Plastic materials are carcinogenic and can affect the body endocrine system, causing developmental, neurological, reproductive, and immune disorder. Another health hazard is given by toxic contaminants that often accumulate on plastic surface and are then transferred to humans through the consumption of seafood. According to research, the yearly economic cost of plastic in the ocean are estimated to be between 6 to 19 US dollars. These costs are given by its impact on tourism, fisheries, and aquaculture, and governmental cleanups. Plastic pollution seeps into the ocean through runoff and even purposeful dumping. The amount of plastic in the Atlantic Ocean has tripled since 1960s. The garbage patch floating in the Pacific Ocean, almost 620,000 square miles, twice the size of Texas, is a powerful image of our plastic problem. A huge culprit is single-use plastic, used once before tossed into the trash or directly into the ocean. The single-use are accidentally consumed by many marine mammals. Plastic bags resemble jellyfish, a common food for sea turtles, while some seabirds eat plastic because it releases a chemical that makes it smell like its natural food. Discarded fishing nets drift for years, ensnaring fish and mammals. Bits of plastic swirl throughout the water column, even sinking to the deepest depths of the ocean. Scientists found plastic fibers in corals in the Atlantic Ocean, and more concerning, they found that the corals readily ate plastic over food. Dying marine mammals washing up on shore also contain plastic inside their stomach. Marine pollution is a complex and multifaceted problem that poses significant threat to the marine ecosystem, human health, and the global economy. It is a combination of chemical and trash, with an estimated 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic waste in the ocean, leading to the death of over 100 million marine animals annually. The impact of pollution on the environment and human activities is substantial, with direct medical and health costs of polluted water amounting to 16 billion globally each year. Moreover, marine pollution has been linked to the decline of marine species, the proliferation of dead zones, and the impairment of water quality, posing serious risks to human food security. In this picture, the phrase, "what goes in the ocean goes in you." It means that things that end up in the ocean can end up in our bodies, especially through the seafood we eat. It is talking about how pollution in the ocean, like plastic or chemicals, can get into fish and other seafood, and then into us when we eat those things. The big letters are meant to really catch attention, and because there are not any picture or more explanation, it's meant to make people think directly about this connection between ocean pollution and how it affects our health. It's really true to take out plastic once it gets into ocean, especially the tiny bits like microplastic. Scientists and people who protect nature say the best thing to do is stop plastic from getting into rivers and seas in the first place. We can do this by making our garbage system better and by recycling more. Also, it is important to think about how we make and use things like throwaway packaging and try not to use so much plastic that we use only once. If we can make these changes, it will help stop a lot of plastic from ending up in the ocean. Everyone can do something to help solve the plastic pollution problem, and millions of people worldwide are already taking action to reduce their plastic use. There are many ways to keep plastic out of the ocean. Here are some strategies you can adopt and share. First, reduce your single-use plastic. Wherever you live, the easiest and most direct way that you can get started is by reducing your own use of single-use plastic. Single-use plastics include plastic bags, water bottles, straw and cups, and any other plastic item that are used once and then discarded. Second, support legislation to curb plastic production and waste. Help laws that aim to reduce plastic. In the US, there's the Break Free from Plastic Pollution Act. Also, there are state laws like Extended Producer Responsibility or EPR that make plastic makers responsible for their product after they are used. Third, recycle properly. At present, just 9% of plastic is recycled worldwide. Recycling helps keep plastic out of the ocean and reduce the amount of new plastic in circulation. If you need help finding a place to recycle plastic waste near you, check Earth 911's recycling directory. It is also important to check with your local recycling center about the types of plastic they accept. In conclusion, ocean pollution, especially from plastic waste, is a pressing issue demanding immediate action. The increase in plastic debris in our ocean poses a threat to marine life, our health, and the economy. We need better waste management, recycling, and less use of disposable plastic. Everyone can help by reducing plastic use, supporting laws to tackle pollution, and joining cleanup efforts. It is crucial to act together to protect our ocean for the future. I think that's all from me. My name is Angelica Sanjaya, the student number 40. I made this video to fulfill my final exam project for the Critical Reading B course 2022. I think that's all. Thank you and have a great day.